Hi everyone, this is my Module 1 overview, and just to tell you a little bit about myself, my name is Rachel Perez, and I teach at Manheim Township High School. I teach biology and anatomy and physiology. I'm also the junior high girls basketball coach. I like to play soccer. I like to do different types of races, obstacle races, 5Ks, 10Ks, things like that. I'm also a Philly fan, Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers. I also went to Millersville for my undergrad. I did have some experience with online classes there too. A lot of them were not as interactive. It was a lot of read this and post about it. It wasn't really discussion based. Not much interaction with the professor either. But I've had a different experience with my grad classes. There's more interaction with peers as well as the professor. So after watching the video, the first quote that kind of stuck out to me was, "Good teaching starts with making a connection." And that was 15 seconds into the video, and it's a really good statement. Making a connection with the students goes a long way, and if you can make a good connection with the students, then you can start to make connections to the content. And I think that good teaching, the statement "good teaching is good teaching" is a good statement, saying that, as long as, we're teaching them that's being successful, they're learning what they should be, they're enjoying it, the platform of teaching shouldn't really matter. It can happen online, it can happen in an actual building, it can happen at home when, they're doing their homework. But the underlying question that you have is what is good teaching, what defines what good teaching is, or, on the other side of it, what's bad teaching. So the overgeneralization is just kind of the fact that not all students are going to be taught the same way. It's not going to be effective for them the same way. Same with the teachers. Good teaching for one teacher is going to be completely different for another teacher, as well as the content areas. Some challenges of online teaching that kind of stuck out to me that were honestly, it's challenges that we see in the regular classroom as well. Course content and student issues. I teach biology, which there is a PA Keystone standardized test. And so a lot of the content is already there for us. We don't really get much flexibility in what we can teach. We get a list of standards and we can kind of, do with it what we can. And so the lack of control can be frustrating sometimes because, there's things that we have to teach and things that we don't really get much say in. Now, my district does let us kind of spin our own lessons and kind of put our own twist on it, which is a really good thing. I think some districts don't do that. The other challenge would be student issues, and again, we see this in the regular classroom. Some students are motivated, they're self-motivated, and so online learning is a really good environment for them. Other students need that person there to help them, get through the content and explain it to them in maybe a different way. I struggle to see how you can build a really good student-teacher rapport. That's one thing that I really like to do is just, get to know my students and build that rapport so that, they respect me, I respect them, and it can go a long way. And that kind of goes off of, knowing what the students need. If you have that rapport, if they respect you, they might tell you if something's going on, they have a bad day. And so I just feel that there's a little bit of limit with the online environment, but I'm sure there's ways to get through that. So being born to teach, I don't know if I would say that I was born to teach, but it's definitely my calling. I definitely think that that's, what I should be doing, and that's why I'm doing it. So in a sense, I guess I am born to teach. But hopes for online teaching, I don't know if I see myself in a strictly online classroom someday, but it's a possibility. But I would hope to see a learning environment for students who struggle in the regular educational setting. There's many times where my students have said, listen, I get really distracted, I work better at home, I can self-motivate. Those are the kids that the online teaching is going to be best for. And I also hope that any of the issues that are related to online teaching, as well as in the regular classroom, could be resolved. The time that it takes to plan all of these lessons, that is over and above what we do in the regular classroom seems to be one of the biggest issues. Qualities that I want to share with my students, and this can go for regular classroom or online, is the passion for the subject. When I tell people that I teach science, a lot of them are like, ugh, or I get a really positive remark too sometimes. And so I just, I need to be passionate about my subject, and it helps the kids to be passionate about it as well. Communication skills, if I can open up lines of communication, I can see what the students' needs are, I can help them, right in class and in their lives. Friendliness, approachability, this goes a long way. There's a lot of students that come to me and say, well, I'm afraid to approach this teacher because, she doesn't seem like, or he doesn't seem like, that they're going to help, and so I just kind of, I like that my students can come to me and talk to me, but I also want to give them, ways that they can approach people if they don't seem that they are approachable. And I read through a little bit of Parker Palmer's excerpts, and his one quote, "Teaching, like any truly human activity, emerges from one's inwardness. For better or for worse, as I teach, I project the condition of my soul onto my students, my subject, and our way of being together." And that really stuck out to me, because the for better or worse part, and we're humans, we have bad days, but the kids can read into that 100%, and if you have a good rapport with students, they're going to try to help to make your day a little bit better. If not, it just can kind of snowball from there. And last but not least, after looking at the commercials, the K-12 individualized learning, that one, kind of stuck out to me the most. It kind of hit more of the standards. They were all about student success through differentiation and making sure that they have an individualized learning plan, and they understand that some students are average and some are below average and some are above average. The only thing that it lacked was some collaboration. They were all about the individual needs of that student and their individual plan. They didn't really talk about how, collaboration and interaction is going to help them. The Connections Academy, again, they advertised the personalized instruction for the student. It was very, very student-focused. They didn't really say anything about the teachers do this or the curriculum or anything like that. And then the Carpe Diem schools, they made the comment, learn the way you like, and that goes a long way, because a lot of students, they learn different ways. And so if they're going to focus on learn the way you like, then they're going to be more successful. And they also focus on the choice of the student, whether they can be online or on campus, so that they can kind of be in the environment that they most prefer. Thank you.